The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the January 30th, the magnificent Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of you should always, God, I've totally lost track there. So what is it that each of you should always do? Well, you should always know that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. Would love to hear from you at 877-927-6648. Now, if you got a question, but you can't call in, you can always send me an email. For that, send that early. Send that to steve@tfnn.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magnificent Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, you got all the U.S. indices trading to the downside. The one that's leading the charge would be the semis. Are up 1 9/10%, 55 points. Right behind them is the NASDAQ 100, 1 7/10%, or 204 points. The S&P is off 31. The Dow's down 56, and the Russell is off 14 points. Over in metals land, you've got gold off $6 with silver up 9 pennies. Light sweet crude is off 21 cents. Natural gas is down 11 pennies. 30-year Treasury printing out at 129.25. That is off 12 ticks. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, you've got O'Reilly Automotive up $20 or 2.5%. Humana's up 1 7/10%, which is about $8.25. Cincinnati Financial up $7. That's 7%. John Deere is up $5.70. That's 1 3/10%. United Health having a nice day, up 1%, $5 and change. To the downside, it is Mercado Libre up $37. That's a 3% move. ServiceNow $16, a 3.5% move. Azimil Holdings $15, a 2.25% move. Repligen off $14 or 7%. And Monolithic Power Systems down about 3 3/10%. That would be a move of $14. She's trading out at 410.65. So let's begin the day by taking a look at perhaps what is the most important chart, and that would be the NQ. Let's go switch over, take a look at our white panel charts out there. If you saw the morning market update at 11 o'clock, then you do know that the NQ has completed the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the upside. Now, when that is important is when we get a bearish reversal candle. I do not know what the candle formation will be at day's end. At 11:09 a.m., it is currently a bear sash candle. In order for this to turn out to be a bear sash candle, price is going to need today to close below 12,049. So that's a number to write down on your pad of paper. If you get it closed below that, then, and especially I'd say if you get it closed below Friday's low out there, that's 12,016, and I'd use that as more of the important level to watch, 12,016. If we get it closed below that, odds favor that we will see price pull back to the oscillator and change line. Now, that oscillator and change line currently printed at 11,786. That's going to change as price moves up and down, but you can use that as a general reference area. Price may even spike down to the top of its daily profile, which is 11,658. However, what you and I do know, we did take a look at this during that update, is that the NQ is attempting to form a new daily profile. Now, this will not be confirmed until this evening, but that new profile, we use the data that we have. It has resistance up at the 12,208. We're trading at 12,036, or trading, depending on which type of in any event. So you've got the resistance at 12,208. Now, you also have a support or resistance level, the center of its profile, 12,008. So this is a slightly bearish. I know you're not seeing it on my screen out here. I'm looking to a different screen. So just write those on a pad of paper out there. Support at 11,808, which also would be a rising trend line. So don't pay attention right now to the profiles that I have on my screen that are showing here. Pay attention to the new ones that I provided. Again, 12,208 being a key resistance level, 11,808. And tomorrow we'll have confirmation as to whether or not these profiles come into play. Now, whether these profiles come into play or not, if we do get that bearish reversal candle, that sets up that sell the D point pattern. And then we would expect that price would pull back, I said, to the oscillator change line. 11,787 is where that's printing. And the bottom of that new profile is 11,808. That would be the range that we'd be looking at for retracement. Now, it would be logical to see that take place. What do you mean by that, Steve? Well, what we saw here on Friday was that typical two-day, we'll just simply call it a knee-jerk reaction. That doesn't mean it was the ultimate high. It's just the Texas two-step. It's just the waltz that the market does. So we take a look at consecutive closes, either to the upside or the downside. We can see that Friday was another one of those two-bar moves. So what should we see to the downside? Well, the last two moves to the downside have lasted for how long? 2 days. If we get that today, and especially a close below yesterday's low, odds favor. It's not a guarantee, but odds favor. We should expect and anticipate a further move lower. Now, that makes all logical sense while you've got all the financial news media talking about Powell, the interest rates that will be announced on Wednesday at 2 p.m. So it's likely that the fireworks don't begin until then. But in the meantime, we should expect and anticipate a further retracement. And in the NQ, again, you close below Friday's low, that will just simply increase that. That doesn't mean if you don't close below it that we won't get a move lower. It's just odds would increase if we get that's what we would take a look at. Now, we get rid of this chart and go take a look at the other NQ charts that are out here. What we will see is what? What else do we need to see? Well, the 60-minute time frame, nice TD9 count top, sell the D point top, and price is pulled back and has tested its breakout level of support at 12,022.75. That, my friends, is another level to be watching. If price closes below that, especially for 2 consecutive hourly bars, that would be a signal of a further move lower. And again, that brings in that 11,788-ish range out there. The 30-minute time frame chart, well, at 11:30, it's only 11:13 right now, you could get a confirmed Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. That just simply needs a bullish reversal candle. At the moment, it is a bullish piercing candle. But it doesn't matter what it is at 11:13. It matters what that candle looks like at 11:30. 15 and the 10-minute charts don't provide us with a ton of information out there. The 120-minute chart has formed bar number 8 of a TD9 count. No idea whether it will complete that pattern or not. It certainly can't afford to bounce higher. It needs to move lower in order for that to come into play. I don't see anything else out here on the NQs that are worth paying attention to. But I think we've really covered the big stuff out there. So let's go ahead and move on. Move on to where? Well, I'll do this in kind of a little bit of reverse order here. I've got some requests that have come in, but I'm going to stay with these charts here in the futures contract. So there was a question to take a look at natural gas. That's from Coda. So natural gas, we are in the March contract out here. So let's get that up on our screen, and that'll populate momentarily. Coda, I'll do the U.S. dollar index chart. I don't know whether it'll be this next segment or the one after that, because I have to turn off one of the data feeds and turn it back on. But with regard to natural gas, we'll just take a look at the daily time frame here. On a daily time frame for natural gas, in fact, maybe during the break I'll set something else up. You can see a nice TD9 count bottom pattern. And if you get a bullish reversal candle, which is presently right now a hammer candle, you would get a confirmed Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. What you want to pay attention to, whoever asked for natural gas, you want to be paying attention to the level of $2.68. You don't want to see it close below that. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kakestat's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kakestat breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Folks, so when we were going to that break, we were looking at natural gas. Had a different set of charts up here. Here's the daily time frame, the center. Well, it's the third one from the left in the upper right-hand corner. You can see those TD9 count bottom that formed a couple of days ago, completed on Friday. Bullish reversal candle would generate a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. You've got resistance. Real key resistance here is at 321. You've got resistance at 304, then 385, and finally the big key resistance level is $3.44 out there. On the weekly basis, you are entering bar number 8. In order for this to complete, price must close below the close of bar number 4 this week. That close of bar number 4 was $3.39. And then next week, price would have to close below $3.19 in order to get a weekly TD9 count bottom pattern out there. However, a weekly bullish reversal candle would generate a buy the D point pattern. So GOTA, I hope that helps you out with regard to natural gas and everybody else as well. Be patient on the U.S. dollar index. I've got to get through a number of other instruments out here before I start turning things on and off. One of those instruments, will stay with these charts here right now. This is coming from John inside the Tiger's Den. John C., that is, you want to take a look at silver. So if we take a look at silver out here, I'll just expand out the daily time frame chart. You've got that beautiful Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out here. And so the resistance level is at $24.49, 24.495. So right now what you got, John, it's just a consolidation with inside its profile. That profile extends down to 2347 as support, 2404 for your resistance level. If we take a quick peek at the intraday charts out here for silver, I just don't see a whole heck of a lot to assist us further with regard to that. If silver does move lower today, and it's not right now, but if it does, that would just simply be a 2-day pullback out there. We can see we've seen a couple of 2, maybe 1, 3 2-day pullbacks out here. So that's just something to be aware of, I would say, but nothing else that I see when I take a look at the silver chart. So, John, thanks for the request out there. I hope that that helps you out. The next request coming in from Coder inside our Tiger's Den. and he wanted me to take a look at ticker symbol NEE. I think that's what's going to pop up on our screen. Perfect, it does. I like when that works out that way. NEE, is that a grape knee high out there? I remember as a kid riding my bike, going to get one of those grape knee highs. Well, that is Nextera Energy, so that is not a grape knee high. What it is an instrument that has been moving to the south. So it's trading below the bottom of its daily profile. It did that with a wide-ranging bar about 4 or 5 trading sessions ago. You can see on the weekly basis that price is right now inside a very wide profile. It runs from 71.93 to 91.06. It's bullish in structure. So the support area out here, Coder, is really between 71.93 and 76.18. I know that's a wide structure. On the daily time frame, I don't see any kind of a bottom pattern out there. Most certainly, there's an A to B equals CD to the downside. It's extended beyond the 1-to-1. Price may be targeting its recent lows out here. Those recent lows take you back to October of 2022. That's between the range of 73.48 at the high down to a low 69.81 out there. Bullish reversal candle would go a long way to generating a daily Gartley buy pattern out there. The monthly chart consolidates with inside its profile as well, support being 69.87. What else do we know about knee high out here? Not much. If I take a look at a 30-minute chart just to see if there's any kind of a sign of anything, not really a whole lot out there. So it looks like Nextera Energy does want some lower price out there. And again, that support really coming in between 69.87 and 71.93. So hope that helps you out, Coder, with regard to NEE. If there's any additional information that you need, please just let me know. Let's go to the next request. That's coming in from Dan, ABCD, inside our Tiger's Den. And Dan wants to take a look at Coop, COOP. Don't know that this has anything to do with chicken coops, and it probably doesn't. But let's go take a look at Coop, which is Mr. Cooper Group. Mr. Cooper Group. Is that Cooper Tires? I don't think so. Well, maybe it is. But here's what we do know about it. It's trading out at 45.33. So what's the pattern out here to be concerned with, if anything? Well, there is an A to B equals CD. I'm curious, was the B point, which would be the high from the trading session of January the 12th, did volume of 290,000 shares. It was taken out with 706. So what you have right now with regard to Coop is an A to B equals CD pattern. It's a pretty large one. It would go like this. I'll draw in the A to, well, I'm going to try to draw it in. Here we go. So I'll draw the A to B level. Here's A to B, and I'm just going to move that, Dan, over to the C point out here, just so we can get an approximate. Well, I got to scrunch the chart down, just in order to be able to fit in that A to B equals CD pattern. So let's get up here. So we can see that that won't complete the 1-to-1. You do have a confirmation until you get up to about the 48.20-ish type level out there. The weekly chart shows price is trading above. Last week closed above a TD9 count breakdown area, 44.98. It closed above that again this week, which suggests a breakout is underway. Monthly chart says, hey, Steve-O, don't get too excited about that $48 area, not until you clear $46 even. Steven, that is the monthly oscillator on change line. On a 30-minute time frame, we take a look at Mr. Cooper Group out here. What do we see? We see a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. Price could pull back to the 44.37 area, Dan. Nothing would be wrong if it does that. That is its TD9 count breakout area. There was a hammer candle that did form as we came into the 11 o'clock session, so that low is an important low for you to watch and observe. 44.98. You get a close below that. 44.37 is next up on that move lower out there. But overall, this looks muy bueno out there. You'd really like to see this get above that monthly oscillator unchanged line. So, Dan, thanks so much for the request out there. Let's go to the next request. This one coming in from Doug. Doug wants to take a look at CVX. So let's get that fired up on our screen out here. That is Chevron. And let's actually read Doug's question. Doug's question goes like this. When you look at CVX, I took a trade off the weekly. It looks like it's hanging around support. I'm new and trying to learn from small trades. Right, the shorter time frame doesn't look good. I think that's a question out there. So let's take a look at what CVX is doing on a daily time frame first out here. So we take a look at CVX. This top with a TD9 count. So a TD9 count top, the high needs to form here, Doug, on bars 8, 9, or the bar following 9 out here. Well, it turns out that that high was on the bar following bar number 9. That was last week on January 26th. That was on Thursday. TD9 count tops will typically take price back to their oscillator and change line. Turns out on Friday it actually did that and closed below the oscillator and change line. That suggests that what CVX should do is then pull back to support. The support area is two different levels. The first level is the TAS market profile. That is at 177.05. The second is at 175.68. That's courtesy of that TD 9-count breakout level. So what you want to watch is 175.68. If CBX closes below that, that would be a signal to us, Doug, that price may be targeting the lows out here from December the 16th. That's where the next swing point would be, or one of the next swing points that would be out there. But still watch 175.68. That's the daily time frame. You mentioned taking the move based upon the weekly chart out here. So when we take a look at a weekly chart for CVX, here's what you and I noticed. Number one, we can see that for the last last month and a half or 2 months out here, what has acted as resistance when price has gotten up there has been that oscillator and change line. That is currently printed at 181.88. Last week was nothing more than a test and rejection of that oscillator and change line, as was the week before, as was 3 weeks before that. So that suggests lower price. The lower price, the likely target for CVX on a weekly basis would be 166.83. So CVX does look like it wants to head lower. Watch 175.68 out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're pulling up the charts here for the U.S. dollar index. This is for CODA inside the Tiger's Den. I believe the specific question was about the weekly time frame chart and where are we at with regard to the TD9 counts. Well, bar number 7 is the one that is attempting to form this week. That needs to just simply close below the level of 103.63 at week's end in order to generate bar number 7. Bar number 8, 9, or 10 are the ones that need to get below the low of the pattern so far in order to consider this to perhaps generate a TD9 count bottom. What do we have out here? Well, the daily time frame negated a TD9 count bottom pattern, or Rhodes momentum indicator signal, I should say. It did that, which had formed. That had formed on January 16th. It was negated on January 25th. Price on the 25th closed at, this is the U.S. dollar index, 101.42, and support was actually at 101.46. Missed it by that much. And so there it negated the pattern. In the U.S. dollar index, the most important thing for you to know right now, Code, is you've got a new profile that is formed, resistance at 102.37. So I hope that helps you out with regard to the U.S. dollar index. I'm going to close out this set of charts here, and then I'm going to take just a few moments here just to do a bit of housekeeping, turn off a couple of a data feed, turn back on a data feed, turn on another data feed, and then we will be good to go out here. So, okay, so we're good to go. Let me get rid of the and by the way, Doug, I went over CVX. I took a close look at your email. I see that you are a subscriber. I will send you at some point in time this afternoon. It won't be right after the show, but it will be, let's say by 3 o'clock. I will send you a detailed analysis of CVX for you so you can see those shorter-term time frames to assist with your education out there. So just know that that is coming, and we'll spend some more time on that. The next question was to take a look at Moderna. mRNA. So let me get those stock charts back up on our screen out here. This will populate with something else, and then a moment to this is going to populate with Apple, which we'll take a look at. Then I'll switch over, if you will, and we'll take a look at Moderna for Michael. So we take a look at Apple out here. What we can see is an A to B equals CD pattern. I'll just simply draw in the A to B pattern out here. So, and then we'll just simply move that. Oops, I got to grab the right thing, right tool. So here's A to B. We're just going to move that line over to the C level as soon as it lets us do that. And then it gives us a price projection that's up in the, we're very close to finishing it, 148.17. You've got an inside bar that's going on today. Inside bar, should that continue to be like this, is just the interpretation is that the existing move that was in place or the existing trend should continue. In this case here, that says to the upside. I don't see anything significant on a weekly basis, nor do I see that on a monthly basis. On a short-term time frame, there was a TD9 count and Rhodes momentum indicator top. That led to a close below breakout support. So 142.49 is game open for a further move lower. But you got to watch that hammer candle. That took place when we came on the air. Watch that low, 143.37 out there. So that's what I see when I take a look at Apple. Nobody asked for Apple. What was asked for was to go take a look at Moderna, mRNA. So let's get Moderna up on our screen. Let me see if I can find Michael's question out here. It reads like this. Hello, Steve. I'm in Moderna on a short position, also in DFEN, long. Do you see a stop loss area on mRNA and a target for DFEN? That is Michael. First, Stevie needs to learn how to type mRNA, which I believe is how you actually pull up the signal, the chart. I don't know what I had typed in there first, but the fat fingers did the job. Now, why is it taking so long? I don't know. Okay, so now we got it populated. Moderna should be trading out at about 183.10. Your question was, do you see a stop-loss area? Really a target for Moderna. So Moderna formed a TD9 count top. You can see it was bar number 8 that identified the top. You're back inside the profile area. So your support zones, Michael, I've got to give you a support zone. The ultimate target would be 171.40. Now, if price is moving down into 171.40, when I say moving down, that means getting below 181.74, the high of that candle. If it's doing that with more than 3.5 million shares, that could be signaling an A to B equals CD to the downside. Could be. Don't know. You got to wait to see what price is doing, what volume is doing, should price reach that area. It should at least reach the range of 176.33 to 180.34. That is the bullish structured profile level out there. So you've got support there. Again, it closed below 176.33, would take on that 171.40 level. And again, you would be watching for volume to kind of give you a feel as to what action you should consider taking. The weekly chart also has a TD9 count top. It was a TD9 count. It was bar number 9, I should say. Price may be simply pulling back to the 178.78 level out there. That is its green oscillator unchanged line. I don't see anything on the monthly chart to assist you and I. Michael, with regard to a 30-minute time frame chart for Moderna, Moderna is Well, it's got an A to B equals CD to the downside. It would need a bullish reversal candle to complete a buy the D point pattern. I don't see that at this stage out there. So no bottom that I'm seeing that would suggest, closing out that trade that you've got to the short side. Moderna, with regard to what is consecutive weekly or daily opens and closes, you are now in a 2-bar potential knee-jerk bottom, so this could be just sloshing around. But overall, watch Moderna as it gets towards those support levels, again established by the daily time frame, between 176.33 and 180.34. So I hope that helps you out. Michael, you asked about DFEN. So let's get DFEN on our screens out here, see what those are. Now, DFEN, you are long. Moderna, you are short. DFEN is a direction shares ETF for the aerospace defense area, and that is a 3X ETF. Michael, if you can, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this chart, but if you can write back and tell me what the index is for the aerospace and defense, there's got to be an index out there. There's probably not a 1-to-1 ETF, or maybe there is. But if you give me that would be better for us to take a look at to generate some signal information. But you're long, and you're asking, where is the upside target on this? Well, what you have is you've got resistance that was established both by a 7th wave move. That's courtesy, very small courtesy, of the Chapman wave patterns out there. That formed on January the 6th. What took place on January the 7th? Was the confirmation of a Rhodes momentum indicator top out there. So you've got 2 of the hosts that have got their topping signals in here, and that says that the resistance level that this will need to overcome is that swing point from the trading day of January 6th. And that's up at the high of 2147. Now, there are 728,000 shares that traded hands where that resistance level is at. That's from the prior day, January 6th. You came into that on Friday with 370. So 370 going into 728. So far today, you've done about 169,000 shares. So we're up into that swing point with lighter volume out there. And you do have profile resistance up at the area of 2063. We're trading at 2044 right now. So you're up towards a battle. That doesn't mean to sell. You're long. Let's take a look at the longer-term charts out here. What do we have on the weekly chart? See if this can help Michael and I. Back up to resistance. Resistance being the top of its weekly profile. That's up at 2056. On a monthly time frame, not a ton helping us out here that I can see. Nothing negative. You are above profile level, so that's positive. You're above the oscillator and change line, but it is red. So your question was really, where is a target? You're really in that target zone as we speak right now. And 30-minute chart, I don't think we looked at it. Let's do that as we close out this segment of the show. Wave number 7 here. Rhodes momentum indicator top here. Price would need to close below 1994 to suggest that there's something wrong. You're trading at 2044 right now, so that's about a 50-cent move to the downside. So that's what that would suggest to you and I. So that is the direction share 3 times ETF for the aerospace and defense. Again, Michael, it would be best to take a look at the ETF. And Dan in the Tiger's Den says we could use ITA. So thank you, Dan, for that. And that's what I'll do. I'll put those charts up, and we'll come back and take a look at those when we get back from this break.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the fund is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. That was actually Coda Insider Tiger's Den that they gave me the link to ITA. That is the ETF for the aerospace and defense sector out here as we take a look at it. So this, I'd be paying attention more so to this number that I would give you, Michael, and that's to the upside. This also shows that Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. So for ITA, watch 114.82. If price closes above that, then you would be off to the races. We can also see here that price is above the daily profiles. I don't recall where it was. We took a look at the triple. May not have been the same thing. So we are above profile. We are above a green oscillator and change line. Those are bullish conditions. You can see the consolidation. You are in a good old-fashioned consolidation with wave number 7, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the trading day of January 6th being the key level of resistance that price needs to overcome. And I would say if price is able to take out the low at 108.03 from the trading day of January 20th, well, that would not be a good scene. But we're not there as we speak right now. So the ITA chart says to hold. But you can expect an anticipated pullback to the 112.82 level. Consolidation with inside the weekly. Trade above consolidation with inside the monthly. Price up at resistance levels out here on that monthly time frame chart. So it does look pretty good. Just make the decision that is best for you, Michael. And thanks so much for the request. And thank you, Coda, for assisting both Michael and myself on taking a look at that trade. The next request coming in from Bill inside our Tiger's Den. Bill wants to take a look at Auto Nation. AN is the ticker symbol there, in case you want to put that up on your screens. AN, Auto Nation, trading out, having a nice day here. Bar number 7 of a TD9 count, getting back to prior swing points out there, making that 100% move of a move. It's in an A to B equals CD to the upside out here, but it's taking out that swing point from the trading day of December the 1st, that is. Volume there was 686,000 shares. You've done 294 in the first couple hours of trading. So this is moving higher with volume, but it needs to still clear resistance. That means you need to see this close above, not necessarily today, but you do need to see this close above 125.37 to tell you that Auto Nation is on its way. Now, your question was, is this a triple top out there? Well, you're certainly getting back to where there was a prior high on November 15th, a prior high on December 1st. So on November 15th, just from a volume standpoint, 828,000 shares. On the trading day, this is up at the highs of December 1st. We were at 686 out there at the daily time frame. And again, today so far, we are at 300,000 shares. So it's actually pushing, it appears that it's pushing higher than those other days out there. And so that may be signaling to you and I, it's getting ready to take out that high. However, on a weekly chart, what we can see out here is that we have, Phil, we have price headed up to resistance. That is the top of its weekly profile at 125.37. And if price can clear that, and it's been tested already, and that's 128.42, that's your TD9 count breakdown resistance level. So is it a triple top? Yeah, maybe. But it's pushing into that swing point with volume, so I'd be cautious about that. If you're looking to take a short trade there, I'd at least be cautious at the moment. And on the weekly chart, you've got resistance 125.37 and 128.42, but it is building up steam on that daily time frame. Now, on a 30-minute chart out there, because I don't know I sense that you were looking for a top to sell because you asked about a triple top out here. Well, you have a TD9 count and potentially Rhodes momentum indicator top. The TD9 count is going to stick. It was the bar following bar number 9, and that took place at 11:30, 15 minutes ago. What price should do here, Phil, is pull back and test its oscillator and change line. That's your strong momentum area on a 30-minute basis, and that's around 123.12. I say around because the number is going to head lower if price pulls back. So I'm not sure. Use 123.05 or 06 or 04 or something along those lines. If price closes below that, then that would be signaling to you, Phil, that price should pull back on AutoNation to 119.43. And you'd really need a close below 119.43 to then suggest that, yeah, this triple top action out there may actually take hold. And you don't have that as we speak. With regard to consecutive days, moving to the upside out here, well, today will become, it looks like day number 4. So this is the last time we had a bar number 4. That was on the trading day of January 23rd. You had a one-hit wonder, a one-day pullback, and then it continued to move higher. So I don't want you to get freaked out. If you do see this pullback, not today, but start pulling back tomorrow out there, that just seems to be part of the normal pattern with inside of AutoNation. So, Phil, I hope that helps you out. And if not, just please let me know what additional information you need, and I will do my best to get that to you. Next request coming in from HD. HD sends that in by email. The request is to take a look at uranium and a uranium royalty company. Uranium wants to take a look at URA. Let me just update this chart here real quickly. We are in bar number 7 of a TD9 count on a daily time frame out there. We are potentially in bar number 7 of the Chapman wave out there, and price is hitting resistance. It's actually traded above resistance, 23.57. So this is trading into and is gunning for its swing point from 9.923. That swing point had volume of 2.7 million shares. So far today on URA, and again, the volume that we're benchmarking is from the trading day of September 9th. That volume, 2.7 million, you have done 1.1 today. You're pushing into that swing point with which would appear to be volume out there. We won't know till day's end. So watch it. But as long as price closes above 23.52 or 23.63, you will close inside that swing point. If you close inside it with volume, more than 2.7 million shares, it nearly guarantees, even though there's not a guarantee, that price will go target that swing point high of 24.34. If it closes in there with lighter volume, then we really don't know. But as long as it's in there, that high is certainly achievable out there. Now, on a daily time frame, you can see a fairly large A to B equals C that may be present. The swing point out there is from January the 11th. That swing point had volume of 1.2 million shares. When it was passed, it did volume of 2.9 million shares. So uranium has a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside. This is the daily time frame that we're taking a look at. I'm just going to draw in the A to B line. We will move that over to the C point of that A to B equals CD. So we move that over, we get this. That gives us a price projection here, HD in the 24.18, 24.20-ish type area out there. So that's what I see. We take a look at uranium for the daily time frame. The weekly looks good. The monthly looks good. 24.42 is where the monthly's resistance level is at. So I hope that helps you out. If we take a look at UROY, U-R-O-Y, the 30-minute chart I didn't put up here, but it does not show any kind of a topping pattern as we speak HD. So UROY, that is a royalty entity with regard to uranium. It's called the Uranium Royalty Corp out there. And that right now has had a heck of a nice day. Right now it's not showing the wide range bar. It will probably momentarily straighten up at the high of that 295. There we go. So you've got a wide ranging bar. You've got an A to B equals CD that is in play out here. The B point, well, which B point would we use? We could use today's actually. The volume out here, 1.5 million shares, taken out a swing point that did 547,000 shares. Let's go ahead and use that one. So the A to B point is what we'll draw in. We'll then move that to the C point out there. and see where that price projection is for HD inside of the, well, I don't know if HD's in the Tiger's Den or not. And but let's take a look at this as we speak right now. So the 1-to-1 price projection, well, you're already hitting it, but you're hitting it with a wide-ranging bar. So here's your A to B equals CD pattern. You're hitting that with a wide-ranging bar. That is not how A to B equals CD patterns complete. So this suggests that price would move higher. I don't have that in there to give you what the 1.272 area is, but I take a look at UROI and its resistance levels, T9 count breakdown areas that have been tested in NFL. They're 301 and 303. So I think UROI headed for that same 303 area. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back to close out the show.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. You got the U.S. indices trading lower. Dow's off 110, S&P 31, NASDAQ 100, 179, and the Russell is off 13. We're going to go take a look at ticker symbol AFMD. That is affirmed out there. Yeah, as all of you know, affirmed is a triple crown winner out there. In fact, the interesting thing about that horse is that it's one of the what I find interesting about it is if you look at Triple Crown winner, if you kind of when you hear Triple Crown winner, you almost assume that the horse never loses, right? Well, that's the interesting thing about affirmed, that horse. It's basically, that horse is almost 50-50. I know it wasn't 50-50. I know it won more races than it lost, but not many more races than it lost out there. But that's not why Dan is in AFMD. Instead, what Dan wants to know is that, well, hey, guess what? Today it looks like this could be a confirmed A to B equals CDTF side. Depends on the close. It's taken on the swing point from January 23rd that did volume of 2.3 million shares. The high there, 126. We're at 126 right now. Today's volume so far is 1 million shares, a little over 1 million shares. So it appears, Dan, that it has the volume. If it can close above that swing point high, again, that's at 126. That should give you at least a 1-to-1 price projection in the 134 level. It may be more than that. If I look at the weekly time frame, kind of hard to see it. We'll try to make it easier to see it. Dan, do you see just two profile levels? One at the bottom, 118. One at the high, 162. That is the reason is because the center is also located at the bottom. So your strong support level, 118. You don't want to see two consecutive closes below that on a weekly basis. That would be bad news bears. So you've got the A to B equals CD that may form today inside of the daily time frame. Your resistance level on a weekly is up at 162. On a monthly time frame, I don't have any good news for you there. What else can I provide to you? Let's quickly look. Oh, let's look at this chart here. Let's look at the consecutive closes, higher and lower. So Friday was bar number 4. The last time we saw a consecutive run, it ended on the 5th move higher. That looks like that would be today. And then what you saw was just simply a slight move lower out there the following trading session. So I'd prepare tomorrow for some type of retracement. You might want to add to your position tomorrow or the next day out there. So everything looks good. You like the volume inside of a firm today. And I hope you become a Triple Crown winner. Folks, stay tuned. We've got great programming lined up. I'll see you tomorrow on Terrific Tuesday. Please have a magnificent, marvelous Monday. Be safe out there.